All right,
All
ladies and
right.
gentlemen, welcome to the first ever podcast of 2020 of RNG.
Wow, this is the second episode,
Oh yeah, technically the
but it's
recap
the
just
first.
dropped.
It's the first that was recorded in 2020.
True, and I think that's what matters at the end of the day. If we really think about it,
Yeah, what really matters is where we are in time, not the
yeah.
listener.
Nah, well, fuck the listener. Let's see. No, I'm just playing. What up though? What
What
up
up?
though?
So it's
So
been it's been a hot minute since we last talked.
yeah, it's been about like what 2-3 weeks now.
It's been almost 3 weeks, I would say.
Jeez, dude. One more week and it would have been a fucking month, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep, that's how time works. One more week. But it was good, you know. We were able to get our brains in check,
Yeah, dude.
get
We were able
refreshed,
to. Yeah,
relax.
that's important, man. To refresh, relax, reflect. That's not a word that should be in those other two words. I feel like, but how was your little 3 week break from RNG and life? You did a bunch of shit, huh?
I did a bunch of shit. I don't know what makes you say that since we haven't talked, so you don't know what I did.
I mean, you probably, dude, if you had to leave and not be there for the RNG boys week after week, it means you probably did some crazy ass shit.
That's
Let's be
true.
real.
I did some
Come on,
crazy
man.
ass shit.
Yeah.
I didn't do some crazy stuff, but I'll do a quick little recap. I'll do my best, okay? So while
Okay.
you sip your coffee over there.
I'll sip slower. My bad.
So we went down to New Mexico, which I've never been to New Mexico, but I went down there to spend Christmas with my dad's side of the family. And so we were all down there, you know, my sister, basically the whole Barry side of the family went down to New Mexico.
Oh, all the little berries, dude. Just
All the little
fucking
berries. I'm like the
chilling.
littlest berry. So
Okay. All the berry boys and girls chilling
all
in
the
the
berry
berry
boys and girls,
bushes.
that's right. So we got down there and we just chilled, hung out, had a good time.
Okay. Okay.
There were some complications.
What
My
happened?
my brother-in-law was having a bit of pain, and we were like, "What's going on, dude? What's
Yeah.
going on? This doesn't look good." And
Yeah.
he had like some problems with his appendix. Apparently, he had a stone in his appendix. Have you ever heard of this?
Yeah, I think so. It's like they have to remove the appendix, right? Before it bursts or some shit.
No, it's a
Oh, that's
stone
something
in your
else.
appendix. It's like a
Oh.
kidney stone,
How does it
but
form
it's in
in
your
an
appendix. I don't know. No, like
Okay.
nobody had ever heard of this before. But
Yeah, that's
apparently, he
crazy.
found out that he had a stone in his appendix like 2 years ago, and they said, "Oh, it's no problem. It'll just cause a little bit of pain every now and then, a little bit of discomfort." So yeah, so the pain started up again, and he was kind of struggling with that, and we're like, "Oh
Yeah.
shit, this is looking grim." So we stayed in New
This
Mexico
is
for like
looking
4
grim.
days. All
What
right,
do you
4
mean?
days. He was having this
Yeah.
pain. We did see some shit. We went to the museum in Albuquerque. We went to Santa Fe. They had a
Okay.
Muppet exhibit. Kermit the
Oh,
Frog
nice.
was
Okay.
was bouncing around.
Nice.
And so anyway, we decided to drive back to Kansas with my sister and her husband,
Uh-huh.
which is about a 9-hour drive. So we drove back, and he had to make a doctor's appointment because the pain was getting bad. So he went into
Yeah.
the doctor the next day on Christmas Eve.
Oh shit.
I'm sure he appreciates me sharing this with you, but and they basically told him the same thing as 2 years ago, like, oh, it's just, you know, there's some pain. We're not really gonna do anything about it. We're not gonna take out your appendix because that's not necessary, right?
Just take that sucker out, dude. Fuck it.
4 days
the
later,
losses.
4 days later, they go to the ER because he's having extreme pain, and they say he's
Yeah.
having appendicitis, and they take it out.
See. That's fucked up, man.
And it burst, and you know all the toxins and shit came out. And
Oh,
now he's
God.
still in the hospital now. He's been in the hospital for like 5 days, feeling like shit.
That
they
sucks,
didn't take
dude.
it out.
Look, I was gonna say, can we get some Fs for our boy, but
Can
it's
we
not
get some
really like
Fs
an
in the
F.
chat, please? In the comments, can we get some Fs?
Is it an F moment, dude? It's an F moment.
That's
boys.
an F moment.
There's some fucking Fs for our boy, dude.
Yeah.
Appendicitis, dude. That
Shitty.
sucks. Yeah.
But that's like the most eventful thing that happened to me. So, and it
It
didn't
didn't even happen to
me.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like a proxy effect. Like it was so
I was
good
I was greatly impacted.
by the pain of another
Yeah,
person that you cared about. That's fucked up.
exactly.
Man. Dude, imagine like Imagine not having like a second opinion nowadays. I feel like every time I go to a doctor, I have to have like a second fucking opinion because I can't trust if the first motherfucker knows what he's talking about or if he's just trying to like not do any work, right? And then I always try to go to the second doctor just to verify.
When was the last time you went to a doctor and you needed a second opinion?
It wasn't for me. It was a proxy effect as well. It was for my mom. Yeah, like she had like a bunch of fucking like what was it? It's called thyroid. Have you heard of thyroid?
I mean, a thyroid is like it's like a gland in your body. I think
It's like a gland. Okay, so it is a gland. So the way it works is that it overproduces, I think, like a certain whatever the fuck it produces, it just overproduces it. It's not good.
Okay.
You're not supposed to anything that overproduces anything is not good, right? So
too much of anything is too much.
pretty much, yeah. And so she had a little too much of whatever the fuck it produced, and so it caused a lot of imbalance in the body. So she went to the first doctor who gave her some pills and was like, "All right, this is the shit that is gonna make your shit fucking work. This is like the shit right here." And then so my mom was like convinced. She's like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna just take this shit." But then I'm like, "Mom, listen. A little second opinion does not hurt. You know what I'm saying? We got to go see somebody else." So we went to another doctor who said, "You know what? You don't even got to take that medicine because at your age, that's too powerful. You don't got to take that shit. We got you some shit right here. Weaker version of that, but it still does the fucking job without the headaches and all the other, side effects that come with drugs." And then she popped in those little, low strength suckers and that shit fucking worked, dude. And that shit kept her stable up till now, and she still kind of uses those same pills. And that's what I mean. You got to get a second opinion, dude. You never know if the first motherfucker knows what he's saying or if he's just trying to like bullshit you and just give you like, whatever the fuck he thinks is best.
Well, I think they're all just giving you what they think is best.
Yeah, that's true too. Some of them don't though. Some of them are just like trying to sell shit. They're like glorified fucking salesmen for like pharma companies. But
yeah, so here we are talking shit on doctors. Fuck doctors.
Dude, look how toxic I am in 2020. I just turned this like fucking.
No
You know what,
kidding.
dude?
What happened? Like the switch was flipped.
Shout out to your boy though for getting that shit fixed. And he's in
2020
the
is
process.
2020 a toxic year?
No, dude, it's not. It's the year to bring it back, baby. Let's go. We gonna bring back the F word. We gonna bring back all the words.
What do you mean the F word?
It's just, the word that you call gay people. I don't want to say it now because you're
trying to bring that back in 2020.
I'm not trying to bring it back. I'm just saying that's one of the
with you?
toxic words, dude. It's one of the toxic words, dude. We got to keep that
toxic.
shit back
This is toxic right now. Can't
yeah,
handle
this is
it.
toxic, dude. We got to keep that word back in like 2009 when we were saying that in middle school and fucking high school.
Like 2005, dude.
Yeah, it's got to go back, dude.
2009. Come on,
dude. That's the crazy thing about certain words. They just certain words are just like I guess like socially banned now. Like
except in 2020, we're bringing them all back.
It's a year of comedy, baby. In the name of comedy, we're gonna bring it all back.
The year of comedy, we're bringing back all the offensive words.
Okay, well that's dope though. I like that so far. The trip and your
Oh, you like that? Yeah,
it's a good story, man. And I'm glad he's getting better. Is he currently getting the toxins like extracted from?
Yeah, they're pumping
body?
him.
Okay, that's
pumping
good,
that
man.
shit out.
He should be out in a week, clean as a fucking whistle. He's
Well,
out
that's
there.
what you
He's
think,
gonna do
but
his thing.
we'll see.
Nah, I trust him. Hey, I trust the doctor.
You trust the doctor? Why would you trust the doctor? You hate the doctor.
No, see, I don't want to be toxic anymore. So at this point, I feel like I should I'm like reforming like every minute. I'm like trying
reforming mid-podcast reformation.
Dude, what other podcast could you get this type of reformation? Like it happens so fucking instant. Like,
this kind of character growth. This just doesn't happen anywhere else.
It's like a character growth and then like a character like assassination at the same time.
There's a whole character arc here. There's like a redemption plot. It's crazy.
Only at RNG, boys.
You guys get like a whole narrative when you listen to this.
That's crazy.
You get to see us grow as people right before your eyes.
Dude, narrative is the most used word in 2019.
I hate you. That's your most used word. You use narrative so much.
It's because everyone else uses it, so I feel like I might as well use it.
Don't use it. You got to be a trendsetter. You can't be a trend follower.
Narrative. What's another word? Truth bomb. No, I don't like truth bomb.
Don't say truth bomb.
Yeah, that's retarded. retarded. That's another word we can't.
Yeah, gotta drop that shit.
Is that called the R slur now? Are we calling retarded the R slur?
It's
the R word.
Come on.
I'm just okay. I'm asking.
It's 2020. It's 2020 now.
I'm asking questions.
Leave that shit in 2019.
Imagine not being able to ask questions anymore without getting censored. What kind of world do we live in,
it's
dude?
It's 2020, dude.
What kind of world do we live in? Dude, speaking of what kind of world do we live in, fucking, you hear that fucking thing that happened with Iran?
Yeah, but we're not going to talk about that because we're not a political podcast.
Oh, is it just one episode?
That's just one episode. People don't want to hear about that shit.
My bad. I didn't get the memo. All right, man, my bad.
What I want to hear about and what the viewers want to hear about is what you did over your 3-week break.
I didn't do anything
to the WoW saga.
I didn't do anything for the first 2 weeks of the 3 weeks, but the last week, between 28th to the 1st, I went to Las Vegas with some friends.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? That was fun. You know, we went gambling, checked out the casinos, and then by the end of the trip, we fucking hated the whole thing because we realized that it was fun bonding as friends, but it wasn't fun losing all your fucking money in Vegas, like just, you know, gambling and doing all the other dumb shit. And we kind of realized that the whole town was like a tourist cash trap, and literally everything was just designed. And we knew that before going into it, but like actually being in it in 2019 and like seeing how much of a cash grab it became. Like, for example, dude, there's this thing called Fremont Street. Have you ever heard of the Fremont Street experience?
No.
So it is a street that they cut off called Fremont Street, and basically they open up a bunch of these stores and restaurants within it, and you can't get into it unless you sit in a line, and once you get in, it's like a whole fucking crowd of people. They shoot fireworks at the end of the night by midnight, and then, you know, it's like a whole thing, right?
Every night or just on New Year's?
Just New Year's,
okay. So this was New Year's Eve?
This is New Year's Eve. So on New Year's Eve, we decided to go there, and this entire street used to be free. Like, you used to be able to go in for free and just go check out the fireworks. It's in the name,
Fremont.
Fremont. But motherfucking, now they made it $60 mont, okay? You got to pay $60 fucking dollars to sit in line. And they give you like this little shitty badge, and then you go in and pay for overpriced food for like damn near the whole night. And I saw all this shit, dude. I was just like, bro, this is crazy, bro. It's so commodified. Everything is so like fucking just designed to take your money. By the end of it, we were just fucking exhausted. We were just happy to drive back home. It was like an 8-hour fucking drive, dude. But, you know, it was a good road trip just with the boys hanging out.
Road trip.
Yeah, it was fun, dude. It was a fun little New Year's trip.
How much did you lose?
So I saw that one of my friends lost almost like $1,000. Just playing fucking blackjack. So I only bet $50 because I saw like the losses of the team. I realized that my losses will be similar to their losses. We move as one unit. It is what it is, you know. So if they lose, I'm a fucking lose. So I was like, fuck it. So
did you play blackjack, you know? Or what did you play?
Blackjack, free bet blackjack, $5 minimum. You know, tossed in $50 in there. You know what I'm saying? And I lost it all by the fifth turn. It did not go my way. I lost all my fucking money. Yeah, dude, that's like the only gambling I did. I was just watching other people gamble because it's almost like watching a Twitch stream, but like in real life, like you're just watching like this person just play and commentate. It's pretty fun.
I also went to the casino over break. Believe it or not.
Which one?
Some casino in New Mexico. I don't know the name.
Dude, New Mexico casinos are probably fucking lit, dude. I haven't been there, but it just sounds like it'd be lit.
Yeah, I lost my money too. So just so everybody listening, don't gamble.
Don't gamble. It's not worth it.
Lose your money. I only lost $7.
That's not bad.
I was up like $60 at one point.
Oh shit, that's really good.
I was winning hand after hand on the table, and then some new dealer came in and fucked it all up.
Dude, fuck it. All right. If I'm gonna be toxic one more time. Actually, I'll be toxic multiple. It's gonna have to happen 2020. I'm just in a very toxic fucking mindset. Like, I feel like gambling is the single stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. Because I saw, this all stems from the fact that I saw this movie called Casinos on Netflix. Have you seen Casinos?
No.
Dude, it is a fucking phenomenal goddamn movie. It is so good. If there's like, you know how like Oprah has like the top 10 books that like she like a book club like she recommend. We need to have like a movie club, bro. Like I have like top 10 movies that motherfuckers need to watch. One of them is Casinos. You have to see Casinos because it literally describes the entire, like not even just the history, but like the real implications of how these casinos got set up in Vegas, and sort of just in how general, like how casinos are like tied with mobs and like gangs and like how all this shit even started. And so when you compare like that information and the history of everything with like the reality of it, where you go in and you give this motherfucker your hard-earned money that you spend fucking hours working on, and he converts those motherfuckers to chips, the moment your cash becomes chips, you have lost. I feel like you have just given away your fucking money, and now you because there's a saying, the house always wins. Have you heard that saying?
No, I've never heard that.
Dude, some people have it. I don't know. Some people have it. I'm trying to fucking educate these motherfuckers.
I appreciate that.
There's some people from fucking Europe. It is what it is. So listen, I feel like motherfucking the house always wins for a fucking reason. It is designed for them to fucking end up winning the longer you fucking stay there and bet.
Yeah.
Like the only people that end up fucking winning any kind of money, the ones that kind of motivate people to go do this shit are like, those like professional poker tables and shit. And like all those professional tables, that house is not involved in professional play. It's just the players. So when you see them play, you think that you're getting the same deal with the house. That's not the case. The house is there to swindle every fucking dime and penny you fucking have in your wallet. They want your fucking money. And the moment you convert your hard-earned money into fucking coins or fucking tokens, chips, yeah, like it's fucking over, dude. You just signed over your fucking money. Like the whole thing to me was just like maybe I'm not into gambling. I think it's not even me being toxic. I think I'm just not a gambler. Like I don't see the fun in gambling. I don't know.
Well, that's because you lost. I was having a lot of fun when I was winning.
It's a dopamine hit, dude. It's a dope. That's all it is.
Exactly. The way I see it, like you go to a movie, you're gonna spend like $10 going to a movie, right?
Yeah.
So that's the way I see it. I go to the casino, I put down $10, $20, whatever, and I know it's gone, but I'm just paying for the entertainment,
yeah, I feel you.
I think that's the mindset. Yeah, you can't go in with the mindset saying I'm gonna win, because like you said, every game in there, the house has the advantage. Blackjack is the closest, and that's if you play like with basic strategy, and even then, the house still has like a 1% chance,
dude,
or a 1% advantage.
And another thing I noticed was the only types of people that I saw at casinos were fucking boomers and like millennials in their like early fucking 30s and like late 20s.
Boomers and millennials and people in their 20s. Yeah, that's because casinos are typically 21 and up in Vegas.
No. I mean, like,
so that's what you're gonna see.
But I haven't seen. Okay, I'm 24, right? And I haven't seen people younger than me, like around like early 20. Like everyone I saw there was old as fuck. I'm just saying they're either old as fuck or they're in their fucking 30s. Like
no one in their 30s. That's not that far from you.
Okay, but it is kind of, it is a little bit, if you kind of think about it, it is a little bit. Like, I mean, it's not like I'm not knocking down a door to fucking 30, you know what I mean? Like, it's a little far away. Like, but I'm just saying, these were the only age groups. Boomers love their casinos, bro. Boomers love their slot machines. They love sitting there and just mindlessly pressing that fucking button, hoping that fucking line is like the same picture as the other 4 lions. I feel it. It's a vibe, you know what I'm saying? If that's what you're into, but like, I don't know, dude. I fucking hate gambling. I hate like the whole concept of it too. Like I hate casinos. Not like I know like maybe knowing the history of it makes me hate it more, but it's just like a whole ass scam to me. And I feel like motherfuckers just go in there and just lose all their fucking money.
Yeah, I mean obviously it's a scam. It's not a scam because you know the odds.
Do you though? Do a lot of people know the odds? I feel like people go in starry-eyed, dude. They want to fucking win.
Obviously, a casino wouldn't work if they paid out money all the time.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no shit. But I mean,
it's like, a business.
It is a business. It's just a business that doesn't favor the consumer. It's like
what business does favor the consumer?
I feel like businesses should favor the consumer. Can we make that a thing in this decade needs to be the year of the consumer? Because like I'm tired of like sitting here and having like companies fuck over the consumer so they can profit. Like I need like some
consumer is
some
willingly
kind of
being fucked over.
Dude. Maybe we need like a consumer rights movement.
Consumer rights.
You know what I'm saying? We need a men's right movement too in this fucking. We need a consumer rights, a men's rights. We need some
toxic.
fucking. No, what do you? Okay,
what do you
okay. Just go. What do you
men's
mean? Like,
rights? You think
why
men?
not? Why
you
not?
Think men are oppressed?
I'm not saying they're oppressed.
That's a fucking joke.
I never said they're oppressed. You said they're oppressed. That's not part of it. Okay, listen. If you're starting a men's rights movement.
By saying we need men's rights, that's saying that we don't have equal rights right now. That's saying that other people have more rights than men. Which
there's a lot of
really
situations.
The one situation I can think of, which they've talked about, in other countries I know they've talked about, whereas like if you're with a girl and she gets pregnant and you don't want the baby, right? And then she wants the baby, so then you have to pay out childcare for fucking ever. I think that can be a little whack.
That's fucked. But I mean, I'm talking more along the lines of like how in American society. Okay, this is becoming like a men's right podcast. This is not the goal. Like I don't want this to go down this road. We're already here.
Okay. Our audience is like 99% men. They don't.
You know what I mean? That's yeah. I feel like there's a lot of situations in life where women have an advantage in the legal system when it comes to either getting, custody of a kid or if they claim that a man has done wrong, like rape or anything like that. But, without even a lot of proof into it, a lot of times the court system does favor the woman's sort of say in it. And a lot of people in society will automatically side with the woman over the man. I feel like when I say men's right, I'm not saying we're oppressed. I guess I'm just saying that, I feel like men should have, I guess, an equal chance to, be represented in the eyes of the law, in the eyes of the public for certain issues. You know what I mean? That's all it is. I'm trying to stand up for the dude that, has a kid and the kid is with the mom and he's trying to get the kid, but he can't. He's trying to change his life around. But the court system, the people, they don't want him to because they want to side with the woman. The narrative. Again, the narrative. It fits better for the woman, you know what I mean, getting the kid. But the dude is just as important to the family member as the mother. I feel like the father figure should be respected too. And I feel like, we should be in a time when women should be equals. And if they want equality, they can have it. But men should also not be like diminished. We should have the same level of equality.
So what you're saying, what you're saying is not so much like a legal issue. It's not that there's something written in the law. It's more of a societal thing. Sip that.
Yeah,
coffee,
but
dude.
it is a societal thing. But I feel like society's influenced a lot by politics and law, right? Like our culture, which is also dictated a lot by nowadays with like PC culture and shit. They have a lot of influence on like how people view shit.
PC culture.
You know what I mean? Political correctness, baby.
I know what PC stands for, but thank you for educating the audience.
For the people that don't, Grizz, for the people that don't, we might have some European. We're a worldwide podcast, all right, dude. We gotta count
worldwide,
for
baby.
Yeah, dude. We gotta make sure people know,
Mm-hmm. I think that I think men are far from the group that we need to focus on giving equal rights to. I mean, I agree that there are probably some things that we could benefit from, and that would make the world a little bit nicer for us. But I feel like there's so many other people in way worse situations that we should prioritize their rights, because men have had basically run the world forever.
I mean,
men don't need more
whose fault
protection.
is that?
They already have it.
Men wanted it, you know what I'm saying? They wanted the power. I'm just saying, I don't really see like a fucking, I feel like men wanted that
this
power.
This is some toxic masculinity
okay,
right now. 2020 toxic masculinity.
My bad. I'm just saying. I feel like, nowadays, if you look at women, one thing I can really appreciate about the new generation of girls growing up and kind of like seeing like my nieces and women just sort of like grow up in this new era. I love it because they're more like in charge. They have more like leadership qualities. Like they want to take how you were saying like men have run the world. It's because men have wanted to run the world. It's always been like a thing. It's been a thing where it's like the power dynamic of like what man and power, whatever the fuck that is. But I mean, like women now want that same power. You start seeing women in these like big positions, and I fucking love that shit. I love seeing them.
You don't think
empowered,
women
you know what I mean?
have not wanted that power in the past?
I think they might have gotten it, right? At certain situations, like they got.
I feel like it literally
Cleopatra.
starts. I feel like it literally starts on like a physical strength level.
Yeah, you could look at it there too.
If you go back, and that's and now we're at a point in time where physical strength isn't really like a consideration, right? Because
Some
now
women
we're
are
at
buff,
an age
dude.
where it's all about how intelligent you are and what you offer that way. Whereas back in the day, it was about how strong you are.
You know what? I have to kind of disagree with you on that because I think nowadays, what is more important than being intelligent and strong is how fucking loud you are. Because that's what I'm starting to realize, like how vocal and how loud you are. Because that's how you get your message out to more people and get more people to like buy into like whatever you believe in. Like look at Trump or like look at anyone on Twitter. Like it's just like the loudest person seems to get the most attention. They don't even have to be intelligent. They just have to be.
What
like,
do you think people
loud and
think
make
of the
sense,
loudest
you know what I
person in
mean?
their office? Do you think people think more highly of the loudest person in their office or the more intelligent person in their office? What do you think people value?
I value intelligence. I would
Most
say
people would rather have somebody intelligent leading them than somebody loud.
that's true.
Do you think that the majority of America likes somebody like Trump in charge?
Dude, sometimes I can't tell because these motherfuckers are just everywhere. Like I don't know like who leans what. If I ask like because this is another issue, right? Like I don't know like
We're not getting political. No political
Okay,
podcast.
yeah. This is not political. Okay, this is not political. It's not political. But a lot of people that I used to think in my life were intelligent people, I would ask them about like political things, and they would always often side with the least intelligent option, but who is also the most loudest. And to me, I look at that dynamic and I go like, wow, like you're so intelligent on all these other issues, but how on this one issue you want to go with this motherfucker because he's the loudest? I think like it's just the situation. Like they prefer that to someone else just because this guy is the loudest and most relatable. Like people can kind of side with that more. It's more simplistic, I guess, for people than to think about intelligence.
Yeah, I think the discussion we're kind of on different viewpoints here. Because when I'm saying when people value intelligence, when intelligence is like a trait that people are after versus physical strength, right? Like I'm not talking about in politics necessarily, but if you look at like what is literally valued in the workforce, it's what you know. That's what I'm trying to say.
You're right. I think in the workforce, that context makes complete sense. I think the context I'm talking about is like a bigger scale. Like I'm talking like political, but it's not a political podcast. We can't get into fucking politics. We're not doing this. But yeah, no, I agree with you. I think in a workplace, intelligence is the best fucking metric. Does intelligence get rewarded in a workplace the same as someone who maybe is loud as fuck and is just like constantly like talking to the managers and trying to get like promotions and shit? Might not be the most intelligent, but they're putting in the work to get their name out and shit versus the dude that's actually intelligent.
Obviously, there's a ton of different factors. It's not just like, oh, if you're intelligent, you're worth more than these other people, because there are intelligent people who are assholes. It's about a bunch of different characteristics that come together.
That's true.
But you have to have the knowledge to a certain extent, right?
Yeah. I think personally for me, I value intelligence. I don't really value people that are too loud because I could get loud too. But I feel like I could.
But you can't be intelligent. I can get loud too, but I value the intelligence.
But like here's the thing: if you're intelligent and loud, that's fucking fire. That's a great fucking combo. Like imagine being smart as shit and you're loud as fuck. Like that's like people are gonna gravitate towards that.
People aren't gonna gravitate towards that because loud doesn't necessarily mean that you're persuasive or that you are charismatic. It just means that you're fucking loud.
That's the other thing you were saying. There's like a bunch of factors that go into it. Yeah, charisma factors into it. Yeah, there's a lot of other factors. Okay, let me ask you this: do you think charisma is the sole reason why someone can be dumb and loud and can make it versus like someone who's like intelligent and loud? It's just do you think charisma is like that one factor that sells it?
I don't
Whatever
know if
that
it's
this
the
person is
one
saying.
factor, but I think it's an important factor. I
I
think if
feel
you're
like
able to be persuasive and get people on your side, then that says a lot. Whether or not you're intelligent or not doesn't matter so much as long as you're able to convince people. But in a way, I feel like that's its own kind of intelligence.
yeah, being able to persuade people.
Yeah.
I think that's something really cool that I used to always think about back when I was in high school. They used to like teach us about like world history and shit, and then every time like you'd hear about like an old, empire or whatever, and then you see like the political dynamics within it. Like it's a lot about how these people were trying to like find what their kingdom wanted. Like it's a lot of like politics in essence is like the art of persuasion, right? Like trying to like figure out like trying to politic different talking points and shit. I think as like a whole thing, that's like the coolest shit to me to like fucking, figure out what people want and to like fucking deliver. You know what I mean? And like build like a whole thing around it. Like, I don't know. That's cool to me. I like that shit, dude.
Yeah.
I like that shit. I like that shit.
I mean, I don't think that that's necessarily relevant to politics today.
No, politics today is a lot different.
But this isn't a political podcast.
It's not. It's not. It's not. It's really not. You know what I mean? It's not. Like we talk about it, but it's not. But yeah, you're totally right though. Politics in 2019 is not like that at all. Or 2020.
Well, what about politics? Yeah, I was gonna say, what about 2020?
Dude, I can't wait to see how fucking. I cannot wait to see how this
2020 is
year.
gonna be scary.
It's
2020
scary,
is gonna be
dude.
a nasty year, dude.
It's scary, dude.
As far as politics go, it's gonna get ugly.
Okay. Let's not talk about politics in terms of like people's names and shit, but let's talk about certain actions of politics, right? Like, let's. Wait, no. Hear me. Let's talk about Let's talk about the effects of politics, not the politics, like politicians themselves, right? So it's not a political podcast. It's informative.
That's our
All right.
tagline. We're not a political podcast.
But we are, but we're not.
We are, but we're not. Yeah,
We're not.
exactly.
Yeah, dude. That shit that happened in Iran is insane. Because the ramifications of that, it reminds me of Archduke Ferdinand. I hope I'm saying the last name right. Back in World War II. I think either World War I or II. It started one of the two wars, and it was him dying, and it was like a key military figure at the time. And
What the fuck are you talking about? Can you give me some context?
my bad. Okay, this is Archduke Ferdinand. I'm trying to like remember everything. I heard this shit on Hardcore History podcast.
Oh God,
Dan Carlin, or I forgot the guy's name. Really informative podcast. It's actually a podcast by a historian. It's just one guy, and he recounts the entire history of the world, and he does like different segments every episode of like different like eras of history, right? And so for one of the eras, I think he was talking about World War II or one. I'm trying to like remember which one.
I just looked it up. It's probably World War One.
Look up if you're gonna look up Archduke Ferdinand as well.
Yeah, it says his assassination was in 1914.
Okay,
That's like World War One.
Yeah, that's one. Yeah, and he was a key figure. His assassination sparked the war back then. It sparked the First World War, and I think now I'm not saying that this is like going to start a world war, but it's kind of scary because the equivalent of what happened in Iran is if Iran bombed one of our military generals in America, and then the reaction from our public is like the same reaction they're having over there because they actually really know this guy, and he's like a really big figure over there that is like culturally.
Know this guy.
Yeah, like because think about it, who the fuck know? Okay, American people do not know who I don't know who the military general is, dude, of this country. Do you know what his name is? Do you know who the dude is?
Trump.
Okay. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, but over there, they actually know the military general guy. The whole country knows the guy. He's like big, in their culture. So him getting bombed like that was fucking crazy. Like that was an insane fucking move. We're not here to discuss whether it's right or wrong, but the ramifications I feel like are gonna be fucking crazy for 2020. Like I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen now. Like. Like it looks really fucking wild right now out there.
It's looking wild.
So 2020 predictions off of that. What do you think is about
when we're dropping bombs without running it by anybody, it's a problem. Because I think this in particular, it's one of those things where it's like, if you ask the American people, if we'd taken a vote on this, people would be like, no, it's fucking dumb.
That's retarded. Yeah,
let's not.
I would have voted no.
I mean, let's not. It's 2020, but
yeah, it's not like our vote matters. Fuck it, like he's gonna do it anyways.
I'm just saying, like,
yeah.
Why are we fucking bombing people still? Can we cut that shit out?
I feel like we should not be starting a World War III when everyone has fucking
I don't
nukes.
care if it's a World War III. I just care if it's like a war in general. It's just like, why are we fucking doing this still? Aren't we in like a 20-year war right now? The quote unquote war on terrorism? Hasn't that shit gone on long enough? Aren't we fucking tired of war? Aren't we tired of sending people over there?
I think we talked about like the problem with the capitalistic system before, and I think one of the problems with capitalism is that everything becomes a commodity, including war. And there's a lot of people who benefit off of war. Like they benefit off of the death of these generals. They benefit off of like the guns and the arms sales that we fucking sell to different countries, right? And they sell between themselves. Like war is like one of the biggest booming businesses next to fucking religion.
Right.
And I think when we live in a world like that, it's like it makes sense why someone would do something as flagrant, as fucked up as that. Because I don't even think the Trump administration went through any other checks and measures to make sure that could happen. They just did it, like straight up, like dropped the fucking missile. But the thing is,
there wasn't like a vote in Congress or anything.
Nothing, which I feel like is a direct fucking violation of you being a fucking president. Like your whole job is there's a checks and balance. That's how democracy fucking works, right?
There should be something where you can't just fucking bomb people on a whim.
It's fucking ridiculous. Like the fact that it's happening is so stupid, but it happened, right? And now UK came out and they're saying that they don't advise against a war against Iran. They think that even that move is bad. They won't support it. I think we're gonna start seeing more countries on the world turning on America. You know what I'm saying? Like we used to be like a superpower. We used to be like a super police. We had military bases everywhere. I think
still do,
but I don't know how much longer that's gonna fucking last.
Still going to.
It's and as long as they make money, it's gonna fucking happen. You know what I mean? It's a sad reality of being in a capitalistic fucking world,
It's just, I mean, when you look at the U.S. military spending, right? We spend more than, the next 10 countries combined?
On what, though? I don't even know what the fuck we're buying. Why are we...
On fucking defense. And I think Trump, I might be wrong on this, but I thought I read somewhere that he increased the military budget this year? Or for 2019 or something? It's just like, what?
Dude...
It's fucking dumb.
Do you have friends in the military by any chance?
I've had friends that were in the military.
Are they still in it or no?
I don't have any that are in it now, but I've had friends that have like gone overseas to I had one friend that was stationed in Afghanistan for a while.
Oh,
it's just
shit. Yeah.
I mean, they say the same thing. They're like, it's fucking dumb. It's a joke.
It's a joke, yeah. I was gonna say, I have friends in the military right now too, and two of them are stationed in Hawaii, and they always tell me, bro, every day we literally just clean the fucking cars that the government buys us. We just clean the fucking buildings and the walls, and that's it. And we're supposed to be military people. And even if there's no war or anything, we still get paid fat for doing dumbass shit that has nothing to do with defense, has nothing to do with fucking war. You know what I mean? Everything is just like a machine. It's just everything is it's just designed to generate more income, except that's a line of income that the average person will never get to see. You know what I mean? We'll keep paying for it, but we'll never get to see what the fuck happens with it. That's just one of the fucking
I'm down with having a standing military. I'm cool with that, and I'm fine with paying them a decent wage, because for a lot of people this is their only opportunity, because of other things we've talked about, like our education system and the inequality in this country. For some people, that's the best way to get out of the situation they're in. So I'm not going to fault anybody for going into the military, especially when you can make a decent living. And I'm not going to say that we shouldn't pay these people, but overall, the spending on the military is ridiculous. And I mean, we could cut it in half, and I don't think their wages would see any change,
I'm not saying we shouldn't pay these people, but what I'm saying is we shouldn't. I personally feel like we shouldn't pay them as much. And this could be a hot take because I want to take all that fucking money and put that back into American fucking schools.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We could cut the budget in half.
Yeah, like cut that shit.
But we could cut the budget in half. I don't think the majority of the money we're spending on the military is going to these people's wages.
Wait, real quick. This is not a political podcast. If you thought it was, you're wrong because it's not. You know what I mean? It's not. But I just wanted to put that out there. No, okay. Like I said, like I don't know how much of the money that we're putting into taxes is going to the wages of these soldiers that are doing jack shit, or how much of that money is going towards weapons that we're like selling to these fucking countries that we're also in war with or like a part of. So like, I just don't know. Like there's no paper trail, right? Like there's no way that the average person in this country can figure out like where the money's even going to. Like you'll just get blocked, halfway into your research if you go that deep, you know what I mean? So like, I don't know. I think at the end of the day, it's like, I would much rather us not have such a fucking crazy ass goddamn like fear that if we take away defense money, everyone's gonna come for us. Like I don't think that that's like reality. I think it's just like a fear mongering thing, just like everything else. I think maybe the money should go to building up the fucking country. So instead of having people, like you were saying, people that don't have opportunities because of education, they go to military. Dude, if it's like the system is so ass backwards that we put people in that position. If we just take the money from the fucking military to just teach these people early on in their life, give them a fucking proper education, allow them to think critically for fucking once and actually build their own fucking life, I think that's like the real American dream. That's how you really go and make whatever the fuck you want to make. But it's like such a weird system now where like those people that you said don't have an opportunity, they do go to the military, but the same people that didn't give them the opportunity are the same people that are kind of the ones that are in charge of their military careers. Right. You know what I mean? And it's like everyone profits off of the destruction of people's livelihoods. Like they just want people as like bodies out there so they can win their fucking war, which again doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, I don't know. It's like a whole system just designed to be a trap. I feel like much like Las Vegas. You know what I mean? much like Las Vegas. It's just
the
another
house
trap.
always wins, baby.
Bro, that's a fire. Oh, okay, I like that. That should be the title of this fucking episode. The house always wins with the White House. Let's go, dude. Grizzly Berry with the one-liners, man. I fuck with that shit. The house always wins.
I mean, like I agree that I think we need to cut spending and because it seems like every year it just goes up and up and up, and everybody's like in support of that.
Yeah.
But I mean, like we were saying, we could cut this budget in half. I'm just looking at a little chart here. Okay, I'm doing a little bit of research on the fly. I'm looking at a chart. It looks like we could cut our budget in half, and we'd still spend more than the next two countries combined, which are China and Saudi Arabia. So, and I mean, we're supposed to have allies, right? Aren't we supposed to be able to depend on our allies for shit? So it's just like so much of the money isn't. It's just being wasted essentially. But
yeah.
I mean, you could cut the budget by a third, and we'd still spend more than like the top 4 countries combined.
Yeah, it will. Plus, I feel like I don't trust the American government with the money that they get from military spending, because I remember, I think this might have been George Bush era, but it was something to the effect of where we armed Al Qaeda, like we actually gave them the fucking
like we sell weapons.
We sell fucking. Why the fuck are we in the arms trade business?
So fucking dumb.
And we're paying for this. And then in the same note, they're like, they got weapons of mass destruction. No fucking shit. You sold them fucking. I don't even know if you sold them the weapon of mass destruction. You probably sold that shit, and they said we're gonna take it back. And your whole. They did that for fucking oil. Like just to get the oil, they did all that shit, killed innocent people, like took over a whole fucking country, and then they come out with the rhetoric like, "Oh yeah, the world is gonna come after us if we lower our defense. So we got to keep the defense budget high." No shit, they're gonna come after us. The reason why they're gonna come after us is because you fucking are in their country killing their fucking people, dude. Like for oil and shit. Like I don't understand.
Right.
That's common fucking sense. Like people just don't.
American propaganda.
Yeah, for real, bro. People be drinking that fucking Kool-Aid like it's water. Like it's
the American
crazy.
Kool-Aid, dude. It goes down smooth.
Yeah, dude. It for sure goes down smooth.
Over here, we love to support our troops.
And Fox News is the Kool-Aid machine, dude. They'll fucking sell you that
until they come
Kool-Aid.
back and they've got, fucking mental issues and they're out on the streets, then kind of, fuck them. But while they're active duty, we love them.
That's so sad, dude. Like the fact that they come back and we don't even treat them.
We don't have any sort of services like mental health services, which is like when you're over there and you're trained to fucking kill people.
Yeah.
It's like that's gonna fuck you up.
Dude.
When you're seeing people die all the time, it's like.
I'll never forget one of my friends who like I knew from high school. He went out to Afghanistan and he came back like I think like a year or two ago. We had this conversation. I asked him like, what was like the craziest fucking like experience you had out there? Because like again, this is a high school. We used to play League of Legends together at my house. Like this is like a dude that like I wouldn't say he's soft or anything like that, but he's like a suburban kid. You know what I mean? Like he's not.
Okay, yeah.
He's not supposed to be out in fucking Afghanistan shooting people. Like that's not like.
And nobody's really supposed to. But yeah.
Nobody exactly right. But I asked him like, yo, like what's the craziest shit? And I'll never forget the story he told me. Like he had to go investigate this tunnel system, right? Because there was apparently his base found like some fucking shit in there. He had to go in there and investigate it with one of his buddies. Him and his buddy go into the tunnel, and as they're investigating, they start getting shot at from the other end of the tunnel. It's two dudes with like a fucking gun. One of them was like a kid. Just imagine like that scenario, right? Like you're stuck behind a barrel in a country that they sent you to for God knows what fucking reason, and you're getting fired at by the country's people, which they have the right to fucking shoot at you, because let's face it, you do the same if it was America. So now they're shooting back at you because you're there, and now you got to shoot back at them and hope that you kill them, because what's the other alternative? They'll kill you. And it now becomes a survival situation for no fucking reason except that some rich white motherfucker, old ass boomer motherfucker, has like invested fucking like money in like oil and whatever other gun trade, and you're just like another fucking body in there piled up just so he can make his fucking profit. And there was even this time when World War II happened, when they were like, you know what, we need to have more kids in America. And isn't that how the boomer generation came up or some shit? Like they're baby boomers or some shit? Like what was like that? There's a whole generation of people that were just birthed for the sake of like, we were going to war. We need more people. Like we were at that point for war, like, you know?
I mean, I don't know if I've heard that rhetoric that narrative, one could even say. I don't know if I've heard that, but yeah, I mean, baby boomers were born after World War II because everybody came back. And, everybody's been gone for however many years. And then they're like, I want to start a family. So they settle down and everything. So, I mean, like anytime it's like post-war, everybody's going to be is going to be happier.
But see,
when to start families and shit.
I just hate the fact that war is so powerful that war is almost like religion, and that it just sucks people in. Like it just makes people fear shit. I think anything that makes you fear, for your life or your livelihood or your like family's livelihood, and the thing that you fear is fucking invisible and it's not fucking there and you can't see it and it's not tangible, and it's some rich motherfucker telling you that that's a threat, I think that's all bullshit. You know what I mean? I think all of that is bullshit. Like, but at the end of the day, I feel like as long as we have like a constant 24-hour news cycle, just like an insulin drip, just like dripping all this fucking news to people on a daily fucking basis of like, yo, this is the enemy. This is what we have to do. This is what happened. You're going to have people like cheering you on while you bomb fucking Iranian generals and shit, starting wars. Like it's just, it's such a fucked up, like brainwashed state of mind. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I fucking hate that shit, dude. But yeah, the whole thing just like prompted me to think about all this shit. I was like, fuck. But who knows? Maybe this year is gonna prove. Maybe it's gonna prove what America is really like to the rest of the world. It'll become more public. Maybe changes might happen.
I feel like America's been showing its true colors for a few years now.
Yeah.
I just feel like America's what's the word I'm looking for? Reputation has fallen steadily in recent years. And it's just, I don't know. I just feel like we're
Cool.
so far behind the rest of the world in a lot of different ways. Like, yeah, we do have a pretty decent like education system as far as universities.
Yeah.
But I mean, like our public education, like our high schools, are kind of a joke. How we care for our citizens is kind of a joke.
Yeah.
Uh, it's basically our country works well for those who have money.
Pretty much. And if you
So
don't have money starting off, good fucking luck because
yeah, essentially.
good fucking luck, bro. It's rough out here. And another thing I'll say is like this isn't like an anti-Trump thing. It's also like an anti-Obama, an anti-George Bush, an anti. I feel like it's an anti-everything thing because this wasn't an overnight thing that Trump was the only one that caused. Like the
Right.
schools being shit and like the country going to shit. This has been like multiple years of Democrats and Republicans. Like I think just the two-party system is fucking cancer. I think the rhetoric is fucking dog shit. I think the people that buy into it are just fucking boomers and old ass motherfuckers that are on their way out. And this is the only life that they knew. And I think what they're passing down onto the new generation, like the millennials and the Zoomers and people younger, they're passing on this fucking cancer. And they don't know any better. And I think the people that do know better are the ones that are profiting from this. And I think that's what the fucking problem is. Like, I think there needs to be like a reformation, dude, of like fucking, like, we need like a George Washington type motherfucker to come in here and just be like, you know what? We're going to fucking redo this bullshit. We're going to just remove like the two-party system. And because it's so dumb to think one man can control the wishes of 300 million plus motherfuckers. Like, how is that even like a fucking like thing? Like, the fact that we even allow that to happen is ridiculous. Like, I don't know, man. I hope that this decade is a reformation of America. Like, some new shit happens to where all this corrupt bullshit can just be put to rest, you know? Hopefully.
I think we
Maybe
might be waiting for 2021 before that happens. But
yeah, 2020 locked in so far. Yeah.
2020 is locked in for a shitty year.
Oh man, yeah.
Just be ready.
And right after it happened, Trump tweeted out the American flag, like a shitty JPEG, not even like a good quality American flag, like a shitter. Like he just Googled it and just pulled the first image.
Oh yeah, dude. Let's go, America. Let's fucking bomb some people.
Jesus Christ, dude.
That's what we do here.
The house always wins, baby. Welcome
The house
to America.
always wins.
Do you have you ever listened to George Carlin before?
Nah.
So he's a really cool comedian.
I'm aware of who he is. I
he's
know.
Dead. Yeah,
Let
one
the
of his
people
most.
know that.
Yeah, George Carlin is a really famous comedian. Really funny guy. He died, I think like early 2000s, maybe. Like I don't remember when, but
And my understanding is that he's more political commentary or social commentary than strictly a comedian.
Yeah. When he goes on stage, he doesn't do the Kevin Hart thing with the voices and like the relatable jokes and shit. He goes up and he tells you like how it is. Like he'll tell you like how the world works and how politics works and he'll like just rail you with all this information, but he like ties it up in this really funny fucking way that makes you like be able to laugh at it. You know what I mean? And I think that's the power of like what he does. Like he can make you laugh at the fucked up shit. But one of his most powerful bits, he has a phrase. He says, "The American dream is a dream because you have to be asleep for it." Like wait, I'm fucking up the quote. I have to actually get the quote. Hold up, before I like ruin George Carlin's legacy on fucking American dream. I got you. The reason they call it the American dream is because you have to be asleep to believe it.
That's basically what you said.
Good. Just want to make sure. I don't want to ruin the motherfuckers. Like, a good comedian. But yeah, that statement is so fucking powerful, dude. I'm not going to lie. Like, that's like, he said that at a time when, like, I think George Bush was president and there was, like, a bunch of war going on. He was really a good pundit at the time.
Pundit. Jam.
Yeah.
Jam? All right. On that note.
Damn? What's happening? Okay.
On that note, well, I hope everybody had a great new year. We're back. Not that we left, really. Consistent uploads, baby.
We've been here. Yeah.
We've been here. And we're going to be here next week.
The house always wins.
The house
baby.
always
The
wins.
house always wins. So fire. Good job,
Leave,
Chris.
leave some comments letting us know if you made it. Our comments have been dipping a little bit, boys. What's the deal? Yeah, everybody on holiday or something? You can't leave a comment for the boys?
Dude, I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. I feel like fucking I don't look at the comments. Like I don't really look at the likes or views.
How can you not look at the comments?
I don't. Like I'll occasionally
community.
look over, but I mean it's just like you said, it's gotten lower. So I feel like just play. I feel like what's the point? Like
What's the point?
Dude, like one thing before we go, like something I'll always like think about is whenever I look at my Adobe Audition, it's just like a shit ton of me talking. And then I see those little gaps of like where you talk, where like my mic went silent. And I'm just like, fuck, I want Grizz to talk more. But then like I see you drop like a one-liner, like the house always wins. Like right at like the apex of like what the fuck I'm saying. And that shit just pops the fuck off. Like Grizz, like that's dude. 10 out of fucking 10, dude. That was
10 out of 10.
I like that.
5 out of 5 stars on iTunes.
Let's go, dude. Let's go. Little thumbs up Aroni on fucking,
Man, asking for thumbs up Aronis now. All right.
Little view bot Aroni. Keep that shit in the background while you play your games. You know what I'm saying?
Just pull up the season 4 playlist, put it on repeat. You can even mute it. Doesn't matter.
You should
just let it roll. just let it roll, dude. Make sure you let those ads at the end of the video play out. It's all good.
Turn off your ad block because ad block sells your information anyway. So I mean, why would you want that? You know what I'm saying? You block Origin. That's actually fire. That's my recommendation.
Hey,
but yeah,
you block Origin is great on all the channels other than ours because we provide that that quality, that spicy content.
They got a whitelist on there, so just put us on.
Not a political podcast.
Not a political podcast. You know what I'm saying? This is just a real podcast. It's reality-based content.
Reality-based content. This is a reality show.
It's a reality show, dude.
That's it.
It's not
I'm
scripted.
shutting it down. It's scripted. Okay. It's all
no,
scripted.
We there's a minute 20 left to hit 1 hour. What do you mean, dude?
Nah. Your time's messed up.
Is it?
We got to come in under an hour. That's what the people want.
Then we out. I'm going to see you boys later.
See ya.